I think another thing to talk about that's important during this discussion is things that we hear also from potential customers, that when is a good time to change, or even if we didn't hear from them, just things we've noticed over the years. And what I've seen often, and feedback I've gotten from other clients, is when they start to feel they've outgrown the service that they're with, and that could come in a variety of ways, right? Maybe they were a startup 5 years ago and they had 1 to 5 employees and they were working out of the basement of their house, and that's fine and dandy. And they had their sister's brother's cousin doing IT, right, to get started, because every dollar really counts and you're stretching things thin in the beginning. And then they've grown and they've had some success, and they realize that that relationship got them through the first gear, but it's not the relationship that's going to get them to second gear or third gear, or maybe even support them where they're at today. So when they start getting that feeling that they've outgrown their current IT, whether it's a one-man shop or whether it's another MSP that they've been with for a little while, they start to get that feeling like we're not confident. Maybe they didn't handle a cyber event well. Maybe there's a lot of turnover at that company, or maybe they're getting mixed messages from different people that work at that company. Maybe their service is spotty. Certainly, there's a priority to how you work on things when you're a successful MSP, and emergencies always come first, and problems that affect the network and full companies come first, rather than one guy with a printer in the back, right? So having that triage is important, but not every MSP handles that correctly. And in that world, sometimes, we get clients that come to us and say, I don't feel I'm getting the proper service for my current size and my current tech dependence needs. So we do see that from time to time.
When it comes to switching to a bigger MSP, right? Because you've gone from the one-man shop, and now you're bigger, and now you need more support. What CBTG brings is a team that we all have our expertise, if you'd like to say that. We also provide incentives for the team to learn, right? We provide continuing education, different certification tracks. There's always new programs, there's always new stacks to learn, but we're thinking about that. We're always offering new opportunities for the team to grow,
Sure.
right? And that's what brings a little cohesion to the team. I think there's always a little bit of a challenge, right? When you're thinking about teamwork, there's always a little improvisation when you're trying to challenge your teammate, and you throw that to them and say, well, I'm getting a certification now. The other guy says, oh, I want to get a certification too. So there's always that room for growth, right? There's always personal growth. It helps the team grow. It gives us more knowledge in the realm of all the different products that we use. So I feel that's what keeps our team strong.
Yeah.
Everybody, there's expertise in different levels of knowledge here, but for the most part, everybody's trained on the same set of principles and programs and different software packages that we use, that if somebody might have run into something that you've never run into,
Yeah.
right? Even a level 3 guy, I'm not involved every day in certain aspects of one of our customers' processes, but I might need to look to them from some experience and a little help and guidance in being able to do that. And that's where the teamwork is important and is one of our strong suits here. The company meetings that we have on Fridays, it's a wealth of knowledge to share what's going on. You don't always know what's going on, because most times I'm sitting behind a closed door, I'm working on a project, and
It's rare that we're not busy.
I might not hear, somebody's doing something new, or there's a new hire at one company. It's always good to hear those things going on, because maybe you can offer some advice and help people do their job a little bit better.
And I think, I'll expand on that even to say, I feel, thank you for acknowledging that as a success point, and it probably wasn't always that way. We had our own hurdles. We started as a two-man company, and we were that through year 2. And then, obviously we've grown over the years up to, about 15 employees now. And it's a different playbook to be successful with this size team than it was then. It's got its, ups and downsides to it as well from a management perspective. But absolutely one thing that is true and non-negotiable is that we're smarter now than we ever were, because there's more hands in the pie, and there's more people on the team, and there's more experience collectively. Harnessing that and getting people to work together and fit within their tier has been, a challenge over the years that we've tackled by having decent middle management, which was another hurdle that we had to point out at some, progress through at some point. Thankfully, we have. And then, along those same lines was employee retention, right? How do we keep the people that we want to keep? How do we cultivate a future for these people? And that comes down to the continuing education. Showing that there is a path forward here, showing that, if you get these certs, you'll get this title and you'll get paid this much, and here's what's next. And you don't have to do that, but that's a pathway that we're providing, and that will help your career. You want to specialize in something else, you want to do something that's not on this list, we have a place for that too. It's we do most things here for IT. There's very, very small subset of things we do. We don't do software development. It's the one that comes to mind, right? We're not coding here at CBTG, but everything else is on the table. So when an employee comes to me and says, well, I'm really interested in this, I like this technology, or I have a background in this, I'd like to take the next level to, that's something that we'll try to foster and cultivate and utilize, because ultimately it helps the whole team.